Welcome back to Motor Authority, where we go beyond the vehicles on roads and delve into the powerful machines that shape the modern battlefield. Today, we're talking about a missile that's been making headlines for years and continues to evolve as a key strategic asset in the region. We're focusing on the Iranian Khorramshahr missile, a long-range ballistic missile that reflects a bold shift in regional defense capabilities. As of 2026, its presence in Iran's arsenal marks not just a technical milestone, but also a calculated geopolitical signal to rivals and observers alike. The Khorramshahr missile was first publicly revealed in 2017, and its origins are closely tied to North Korea's Musudan missile. But over the years, the Iranians have taken that platform and made serious modifications, refining the design, increasing the payload capacity, and improving guidance systems. The 2026 version of the Khorramshahr represents a major leap in indigenous missile technology for Iran. This missile now stands as one of the most significant pieces in Iran's strategic deterrent, particularly with the latest updates in accuracy and maneuverability. Let's break this down. The Khorramshahr missile, in its most recent iteration, is a medium-range ballistic missile or MRBMA with an estimated range of around 2,000 kilometers. But what makes this missile more complex is not just its range, but what it carries and how it behaves during flight. The latest model, dubbed Khorramshahr 4, reportedly uses a liquid-fueled engine called Arvand, which allows for improved performance and a shorter launch preparation time. For a liquid-fueled missile, that's critical. It minimizes the window during which satellite reconnaissance or early warning systems can detect and intercept launch preparation. One of the most notable design features of the Khorramshahr series is its relatively large payload capacity, reportedly up to 1,500 kilograms. That's enough to carry multiple warheads or a very large singular warhead, possibly designed for high-impact ground detonation or bunker-busting purposes. The warhead itself is now believed to have maneuvering re-entry vehicle (MRV) capability. What does that mean? It means that during the final stages of flight, the warhead can perform controlled movements, making it harder for missile defense systems to track and destroy it. In a world where anti-missile defense technology is becoming more sophisticated, the ability to maneuver is an essential part of remaining effective. Iran's defense ministry has claimed improvements in the guidance and control systems of the missile, reducing its circular error probable or CEP down to around 30 to 50 meters. For context, that's precise enough to target military bases, airstrips, radar stations, and critical infrastructure with deadly accuracy. For a missile of this range, with such precision, the implications are strategic and tactical. Iran has gone from launching symbolic threats to having a missile that could hit within a few dozen meters of its intended target. Now let's talk about context. Why does this missile matter so much in 2026? Over the past decade, Iran has faced an increasingly hostile strategic environment. With US forces still maintaining a footprint in the Gulf, growing normalization between Israel and several Arab states, and tightening economic sanctions, Tehran has leaned heavily into asymmetric power projection. And ballistic missiles are the cornerstone of that approach. While Iran's air force is largely outdated due to sanctions and limited procurement options, its missile forces have continued to evolve. They're domestically produced, relatively inexpensive compared to maintaining a modern air fleet, and they don't require air superiority to be effective. When you put all that together, missiles like the Khorramshahr give Iran a credible threat vector that cannot be easily neutralized without escalating to full-scale conflict. Furthermore, Iran's strategy has always emphasized layered deterrence. The Khorramshahr isn't just about long-range attacks, it's about shifting the cost calculus. Any actor considering a preemptive strike on Iranian nuclear facilities or command structures now has to contend with the possibility of rapid, long-range missile retaliation with high precision. Even if these missiles aren't nuclear-armed, and Iran maintains that they are not, their capacity to deliver massive conventional warheads with high accuracy is enough to raise eyebrows in Tel Aviv, Riyadh, and beyond. Interestingly, this evolution in Iranian missile capability has not gone unnoticed. In response, regional adversaries have beefed up their own missile defense networks. The US has continued supplying Patriot and THAAD systems to Gulf allies, and Israel has further developed its Arrow system. But here's the thing, no missile defense is perfect, especially when multiple warheads or decoys are involved. And Iran knows that. That's why maneuvering re-entry vehicles and reduced launch-to-impact timelines are such a game-changer. Let's pivot briefly to the technical origin story. As mentioned earlier, the Khorramshahr is widely believed to be based on North Korea's Hwasong-10A, which itself has roots in Soviet-era R-27 submarine-launched ballistic missiles. Iran has not been shy about adapting foreign technology. But what's different now is how far they've moved from imitation to innovation. Iranian engineers have taken that foundation and reshaped it. Better engine performance, indigenous fuel formulations, improved insulation materials. This isn't just a clone, it's a redesign. Another critical factor is Iran's messaging. Whenever a new version of the Khorramshahr is unveiled, it's done in a very public way, paraded on national television, with generals and ministers surrounding it. These events are about more than military hardware, they're political theater. They serve to reassure domestic audiences of Iran's strength, deter foreign enemies, and send a clear message that the Islamic Republic is not backing down under pressure. There are also rumors, not yet confirmed, that the Khorramshahr could eventually be deployed from mobile transporter erector launchers, or TELs. That would add another layer of survivability. Fixed launch sites can be targeted preemptively. But mobile launchers can hide in civilian areas, desert terrain, or even underground tunnel networks until they're ready to launch. If TEL deployment becomes standard, tracking and disabling these missiles becomes significantly harder for enemy forces. Critics of Iran's missile program argue that the Khorramshahr represents a destabilizing influence in the region. But from Tehran's point of view, it's a necessary equalizer. Iran doesn't have stealth bombers or aircraft carriers. What it does have is the ability to manufacture and launch missiles that can strike targets with increasing precision, far beyond its borders. So, as of 2026, the Khorramshahr missile is more than just a piece of military hardware. It's a reflection of Iran's strategic doctrine, technological advancement, and political intent. It represents a pivot from dependence on outdated Soviet platforms to a new era of indigenous military capability, one that relies less on numbers and more on precision and survivability. And it's a reminder that in the ever-evolving landscape of Middle Eastern power dynamics, technology continues to shift the balance. Thanks for watching Motor Authority. We'll be back soon with more deep dives into the machines that move nations and shape the world.